Now to a new twist in the case of Ruby Franke, the social media influencer who pleaded guilty to child abuse charges. Her co-defendant now fighting to change her own guilty plea.
And Ruby Franke's family says what happened to them would not have been possible without the woman that was hired as their therapist, Jodi Hildebrandt. Now, we haven't heard much from her after pleading guilty to felony child abuse, but now Jodi is speaking out from behind bars, telling the court that she didn't know her rights when she made that plea.
I'm only going to say it one more time, and then you're going to lose the privilege to eat dinner.
A new twist in the case involving former popular momfluencer turned convicted child abuser Ruby Franke.
I'm Jodi Hildebrandt, and I'm Ruby Franke.
Franke's co-defendant, Jodi Hildebrandt, now challenging her own conviction after she pleaded guilty to abusing Franke's youngest 2 children.
Guilty, guilty, guilty.
In a new court filing, the disgraced therapist alleging in part that she did not understand her rights when she entered a guilty plea, saying she had ineffective counsel and was denied due process. Hildebrandt also claiming there was prosecutorial misconduct.
We weren't expecting this from Jodi, but I can't say that we're super surprised either. I'm super confident that the entry of her plea will hold up and that she won't be able to show that she knowingly and voluntarily didn't enter it.
Hildebrandt was once the family therapist for the Frankes.
I mean, Ruby clearly would, smack us, flick our lips, whatever. I think Jodi brought out the worst in her, and that's how it got to, where it's ended up.
The Frankes shot to YouTube fame with more than 2 million subscribers.
It is, it's mine.
Now, Ruby's family playing a major role in getting a new law passed in Utah, which adds protections for child influencers. The legislation gives adults a way to scrub anything posted when they were children, and it also requires parents to set aside earnings for those children featured online.
I do think that family vlogging and family content is unethical.
The unsettling dark side of family vlogging on full display in the Hulu documentary Devil in the Family, The Fall of Ruby Franke.
Be excited to tell them where your name came from, even if you have to fake it.
Chad, Ruby's oldest son, telling us exclusively what started as a fun side project turned into pressure once sponsors were involved.
I eventually want to have a family, and I've learned from my mom's mistakes. We're shutting off social media, we're shutting off the cameras. I'm not going to be using any kid as an employee.
Okay, for more on this law and other developments in this case, we are joined now by legal contributor Brian Buckmire. Brian,
good to see you, Brian.
So good to see you right now. So what can you tell us about this new law that has gone into place in Utah?
Yeah, so Utah's HB 322, the child actor regulation, has simple rules of if the family or the parents make over $150,000, they've got to create a trust for that child actor or child influencer and put a certain percentage aside. Now, the percentage depends on a number of factors, like how many minutes is the individual seen on camera. If this is, for example, my son talking about dinosaurs for all 5 minutes, then a larger percentage has to go towards that, as opposed to if he and I are just co-counsels talking about legal cases and he's only there for 25% of it. But it also has this privacy aspect as well, that when the actor turns 18 years old, they have the ability to go to the content creator and say they either want to have that content deleted or edited to their liking. And so there's that backdrop of privacy, as well as making sure they make the money that they're supposed to.
So what argument will Jodi's attorneys make as they try to withdraw her plea agreement?
So let's just make this very clear. This is a new attorney for Jodi Hildebrandt because she's saying, in essence, that this is what's called ineffective assistance of counsel. It's a violation of her Sixth Amendment right, that she wasn't properly informed as to the plea deal, what kind of appellate rights she would have, or just basically the typical nuts and bolts of how a plea agreement operates and what comes from that. Ineffective assistance of counsel means that an attorney has fell below the reasonable standards of how they're supposed to act and conduct themselves as an attorney, and that ineffectiveness actually caused some kind of detriment to that individual or some reasonable outcome that would have been different but for those attorneys' actions. And so the difficulty here for her is she took a plea deal. She signed an agreement. I mean, you can still go online and see like a 5-minute clip of a judge asking, do you understand what you signed? Do you have any questions? Did you speak to your attorney? Are you on any kind of drugs or alcohol or anything that will inhibit you from being able to make this decision? And she says, yes, I understand. No, I'm not on this. I know what I'm doing. I signed this. I don't have any more questions. And she gives that whole plea agreement. So even if the attorney did something wrong, it's often the times that in these plea agreements, the judge is the final arbiter to make sure that everything was done appropriately. And she said so in open court. So it's going to be very difficult for her to make this argument, but go ahead and make it.
It's an uphill battle indeed. All right, Brian, thank you. We appreciate it.